I can be accused of a lot of things in life, but being a Vin Diesel fan definitely isn't one of them. I went begrudgingly to see the new movie, XXx, The Return of Xander Cage. Begrudgingly because I needed to review it for you beautiful people, not because I was necessarily overly enthusiastic about seeing a Vin Diesel movie. Quite frankly, I find a lot of Vin Diesel's acting to be one-dimensional. You know, you kind of drop him in the roles that he's been doing, whether it be Fast and the Furious, this XXx. It's kind of the same role. The interesting thing, though, is in this movie, he's surrounded by a lot of great people that kind of make you forget that Vin Diesel's the star, at least for a moment. Now, this movie picks up years after Xander Cage was saving the world. Now, for those of you who don't know, Xander Cage is kind of like James Bond, except he's an extreme athlete. He does all these super crazy stuff and saves the world at the same time. So when you kind of compare this to James Bond, I mean, it's over the top. There's a lot of one-liners. He's got the women as trophies, all of that. But what I really enjoyed about this movie was the supporting cast. For example, somebody who was new to me, Ruby Rose, who if you watch Orange is the New Black would be familiar to you, was fantastic in this. She was such a phenomenal badass in this movie, which was great to see because I always like seeing strong female characters. Also, you brought in Tony Jaa, who of course is a great martial arts action star who's very entertaining in this film. You like the UFC? Michael Bisping's in this movie. And not just in there being like the big hulky guy, but he actually had some decent parts in this film as well. Overall, the cast was very entertaining. Some great cameos in the beginning of the film, some great cameos at the end of the film. Yes, you've got the cheesy one-liners in between, but you've got crazy action in this as well. Now, as much as I'm not a Vin Diesel fan, if you're going to a Vin Diesel movie and you're expecting Oscar caliber performances, with all due respect, you're at the wrong show. However, if you're going into this movie thinking, I want to see some stuff get blown up and I want to see some pretty entertaining things, then this is going to be a good movie for you. Really quickly, the plot is there's this device that controls satellites and these sinister forces take control of it, and they're sending these satellites into Earth and basically using it as a weapon. So Vin Diesel's character, Xander Cage, is recruited to help stop that. Cool. What's really cool is that the action that supports this movie is really entertaining, and it really does a good job of making fun of itself. So to that end, I actually have to give this movie a B-. It's pretty good. Probably one of the best action movies in the theater right now. I saw this movie in IMAX. It's not worth your IMAX dollar, but with all due respect to this movie, most movies aren't worth your IMAX dollar. Anyways, if you have the chance of checking out XXx Xander, The Return of Xander Cage, let me know what you think. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier, and WittyWhittier.com. Thank you so much for checking this out. My name is Keith, and I'll see you at the movies.